everyone, and welcome to How to Stay on Track to College. I'm your host, Sydney Burdick with Education Quest, and today I'm joined by the one and only Alex Jurgens, College Planning Specialist from Omaha.
Hello. Hi.
So excited for you to be here today. So excited to just jump right into the world of how to stay on track to college. I know that's something that's on everyone's mind and kind of this elephant in the room whenever school starts up again. So let's just jump right into it. Um,
Perfect.
when do you think students should start preparing for college?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. That's definitely one we're getting right now. So I always like to say, first of all, they can start off when they're in kindergarten. But realistically, though, it's very important, I think, for students to at least build the foundation starting off their freshman year of high school. So during freshman year, they can really start thinking about their interests, what skills that they have or they want to learn, and to really start thinking about this combo of the two and going, all right, what potential careers could I pursue with both of them? But realistically, also, when it comes down to when to seriously start preparing for college, we recommend your junior year. The reason why is that it's just a good time to start looking for colleges, doing research, having the opportunity to go on campus visits and talking to college and admissions representatives. And to really do it in a way that feels less overwhelming, do recommend that you do your junior year. And the nice thing is that we actually have a senior timeline available for students to utilize to help make sure they're staying on track so they can cross off that task of, oh, I did that, or I need to work on this time of year. So do recommend that you do get a copy of that on our website.
Yeah, that is so huge. I know that's not the easiest thing to start thinking about it because you think you've got so much time until college, but you really don't. I mean,
Yeah.
by the time you're a senior year, it's go time. So getting started your junior year is so helpful. On that note, what do you think are the top 3 to 5 things that a student should do while in high school to prepare for college?
Yeah. So definitely the biggest thing is go to class, get good grades, and get involved. So that's important not only to help out during your high school experience, but it has such great impact when looking and pursuing a college plan. So when you're getting good grades, that could help out with some scholarship money. That's also going to help out with certain admissions application to selective colleges if that's what you're wanting to pursue. And then getting involved, it's going to help you to think about, all right, can I do this on a college campus? And knowing that there are scholarships based off involvement, extracurriculars, and community service. And on top of that, when you have the chance to go to a college fair, whether it's at your high school or one of the nearby high schools, definitely making sure that you're taking advantage of those opportunities, along with going on campus visits. So if your school is going on one, signing up for that, it gets you out of school for a day or part of the day, lunch in the cafeteria, but just a good way to get a feel of what that campus life is like. And then also, again, talking to college admissions reps. So when they're at your high school, going and listening to one of their sessions, getting their information, their publication, taking it home to share with your families. And then when it comes down to your senior year, making sure you're preparing for admissions. So we recommend that students do apply for 3 to 4 colleges. So each application is going to be a little different. So knowing what is the difference, so recognizing if the application is going to involve an application fee, and knowing if there's a waiver for it, getting that information, seeing if there's any essays that they need, if they need letters of recommendation, just getting more familiar with the process of what do I need to have a completed application. And then finally, scholarships and financial aid. So recognizing what you need to do to research scholarships, what you need for your scholarship applications, and then knowing the different types of financial aid programs out there. So highly recommend that you do attend one of our financial aid programs that we offer in the fall. There are webinars that we offer a couple times throughout the fall season. So check those out. They're really great. They're really helpful just to feel a little less overwhelmed with how do I pay for college? So doing all these things is going to hit, helping out with admissions, helping feel more prepared, and helping figure out how do I pay for college?
Oh yeah, that's huge. At least to have that list of here's what you need to do. It's all good. We'll take care
Mhm.
of it. That I know can take a lot of stress off of students. So that's huge.
Yeah,
I know another stress for students is having to decide what they want to do for the rest of their lives while they're in high school.
yeah.
Um, I know for me at least that was really big for me. So what would you say to students who don't exactly know what they want to do
Mhm.
right now, but they know they want to go to college?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair question to think through. And, especially when we ask a student, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? That's such a daunting question of, I don't know. So whenever a student I'm interacting with addresses those fears or those concerns, I always have them take a step back and think about, well, what are you interested in? What are things that excite you? What are things, maybe some community issues or just areas of work that you feel like you would love to do and love to pursue. And then thinking about what's your skill set. So are there things that you do now that you'd love to continue doing in the working profession? Or even thinking, hey, that's a skill set I'm not too familiar with. I might want to pursue it. And then if you're still thinking career wise, like, what would be a good fit, seeing if there's a couple jobs where you could do a job shadow at. So connecting with your high school counselors or other teachers, adult mentors to see if they can help set one up for you or help you get connected with someone in an industry you feel might be a good fit for you. And even thinking after high school, if you just want to take some classes at your local community college just to get a feel of, hey, maybe I like this subject matter. Maybe I want to take more. Maybe I want to get an advanced degree in this particular major or field. The big part of this is just exploring your interests, exploring your skill sets, your natural talents, and just asking yourself, what am I really passionate about? And what would I like to pursue going forward? So sometimes it's not just about the job in itself, but it's about what are those interests and values that excite you and finding the jobs that can align with those interests.
Yeah, that's huge, and I'm sure knocking some gen eds out while you're doing that probably can't hurt either,
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
kind of a
Save some
win-win there
money.
while you're exploring.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So what are some college myths that you can debunk for students?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest one, and this happens quite often in conversations, and it's going to happen more as we get into this busy season of college prep, college planning, is students and families being concerned about the GPA and how it's going to affect college admissions and also scholarships. So it's so common sometimes for students to go, well, my GPA is like not the greatest. Maybe I shouldn't go to college, or even thinking, is it even worth me applying for scholarships? Just noting though that if you have those concerns about the admission sides, talking to the colleges themselves. So they want to find ways to work with you, and especially if they feel you would be a good candidate for their school, they're going to let you know some options that are available for you. So that might include doing a placement exam. That might involve taking an extra class or two at college if you are admitted to that school. And even thinking maybe I just need to make up some classes at my local community college. And then later on, I'll feel more comfortable pursuing a 4-year degree or completing an associate's degree, whatever path that you decide to take. And the other part of that also is with scholarships. So again, it's so common for students and families to just say, well, you only get scholarships based on a high GPA and high ACT score. But there's so many different types of scholarships out there. There's scholarships based on your involvement in your community, involvement in school, involvement in just anything that your family might be actively engaged with as well. Even thinking if you showed up as a leader also. So making sure though you're putting in the time and energy and the research to find those scholarships because they're out there. It's going to involve some extra work, but if you take the time to do the work, you might find some opportunities that really can help you pay for college, or it may at least make a big dent in that bill.
I love that. Yeah, that's so incredibly helpful to know because I know, yeah, especially GPA can be pretty discouraging for some students. And
Mhm.
is it worth it? Whatever, is it worth my time? But always thinking there's always more that you can do. There's always different ways to get into college and different
Yeah,
ways to pursue that. So that's really helpful.
absolutely.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term senioritis.
Yeah,
Yeah, feel like I'm still living senioritis now, even though I
yeah, right.
graduated in 2017. Maybe I could use this for me now, but what advice do you have for beating senioritis?
Yeah, so I always like to think about my own experience and just also being empathetic to current seniors and saying, okay, senior year is you're going to have extra work your senior year. So I think the biggest thing is being honest about the year. So often families and students will go, well, I feel like I have to make a choice though. I have to decide, like, I'm just only going to work on college, post high school plans, or I'm just going to have fun and enjoy my experience without recognizing you can have both. But I think the first step is being honest, it's going to be a busy
Mm,
year.
yeah.
And then the second step is starting early. So making sure that you are starting these processes in advance. So if you know that you're planning on applying for college, making sure this time of year you can start your college applications and getting those in. And if you're planning on looking and applying for scholarships, doing that actively and doing it early. So starting in the fall, making sure you're doing the research, you're getting organized with the process. And I'm a big proponent when it comes to getting organized that you're adding in not only your to do work wise and school wise, but also adding in those fun things as well. So when students are thinking about how can I make sure I'm getting the work done but still having fun, again, build that into your schedule. So making sure if you're like, all right, so my friends and I are going to go to that football game, at the end of the week. That's the plan. What are we doing during the week to make sure that we're getting some work done as well? So actively finding the ways to be involved and staying organized. And I think the other thing too is making sure that you're taking a breath through the process because it is very overwhelming. And there are many times you're just going to feel like, okay, this is a lot of work. Can I do this? You might have some self doubt there. Take a breath, okay? Because you truly do got it. It is overwhelming. It is stressful. Take some time, take a break. That's totally fine. So, and just do your best. That's all you can do through the process. You're not meant to be perfect, but you're meant to do the best that you can. So, but senioritis is very real. Be honest about it, but stay organized, keep going forward, and just do the best that you can.
I love that. I want you to write that in like a little grandma handwriting and put it on my wall so I can read that every day when I'm at my desk.
Perfect.
That's so helpful. Yeah, it is very overwhelming, and I know that, like, that can be such a stressful process, but it's so worth it in the end, and
Yeah,
once you get to college, you'll realize that it'll all be worth it and everything will be so much better. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
on that note of feeling overwhelmed and kinda lost in this whole process, we've touched on this a little bit earlier, but maybe let's circle back to
Mhm.
where can students go to get help, and who can they
Yeah.
turn to?
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, your high school counselors, like that should be the number one resource that you're talking to, especially when you're thinking about post graduation plans from high school. Just tapping into that resource. And that, truthfully, when I'm interacting with students, that's the first question I ask them. Have you talked to your high school counselor? And then talking to your teachers as well. So if there's a particular teacher or a group of teachers that you feel comfortable talking with, they had to go through college in order to become a teacher. So asking them for their advice, opinions that they may have, they're going to share the things that you should do, maybe things that you should avoid as well. Your family. So talking to your parents if they went to college, talking to your siblings if they are currently in college or went to college, talking to your cousins, other friends that have gone through the experience. And of course, talking to Education Quest. So contacting your nearest Education Quest office, because this is a process, this is, a big part of our mission is really making sure that you all are getting your questions answered, that you feel like you're not alone in the process. We do our best to give you those answers and we research those answers for you. And the best part is we're a free program here in the state. So do not be afraid to give us a call, reach out to our office, come visit us at the schools if we're in your school that day, just to get any questions answered that you're maybe curious about.
We love a shameless plug. We love it. But it's so true though, and that wraps up all of my questions and leads us right into our shameless plug section where I tell all of you to follow us on social because that's where we have all the info that you guys want, especially this year, especially with FAFSA this year. We all know that FAFSA is delayed, and that's gonna be a big whole crazy thing, so you're definitely gonna wanna keep up with us on social to get all the deets and all the latest updates before your counselors and teachers even tell you, we're gonna tell you, so you're gonna wanna follow us for that. Um, yeah, for everything else college related, education.org is your ultimate go-to source, totally free, personalized tools to meet your needs, whatever you want, covered every step of the way. Yeah, so come hang out with us again on October 11th at 7 p.m. and we're gonna tell you how to make the most of your campus visit, which we talked about before. Campus
Mm,
visit so important and what questions to ask, where to go. You know, the food that's gonna be there is gonna be really good. So you make sure you want to bring an appetite for those too.
exactly.
Yeah, mark your calendars, October 11th, 7 p.m. And that's it. That's all we have for you guys today. So catch us then and have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone. Take care.